Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video here on Cluiche with me, Seamus Brady and Luke Payton, and we have another cracking weekend of action to look forward to in the club championships. Luke, we're going to do a quick little preview, very much nail our colours to the mast on what county or what clubs we think are going to get the victories in these games and live and die by our predictions, as they say. So, how are you feeling going into this?
Yeah, no, look, well, I think we did pretty well last week with our predictions. So, look, yeah, I think, but that was a once off where we did well with our predictions. So I was kind of looking at the prize. So I don't expect to back it up again.
Yeah, we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. A famous quote, everything about nothing and nothing about everything. So we'll see how we get on with this. Let's start on the Saturday. So we are going to start on the Saturday with the only game played and then go into Sunday's games. We're going to keep the Leinster Senior Football quarter-finals together. Now, the first one is played on the Saturday, and I think we're starting off with a relatively easy one here. No disrespect to Éire Óg, the deserving Carlow champions, and we're the best team in Carlow by far. And, won a cracking game against St. Joseph's in the preliminary round. But it's Kilmacud Crokes. It's the reigning, defending All-Ireland club champions who just smoked Ballyboden in the Dublin football final. The only thing is, remember Mullinocta? This is a relatively similar game. But in my mind, Kilmacud are levels above even that team. And I think it's a pretty straightforward Kilmacud victory in this one.
Yeah, well, look, you'd imagine so. I think you'd be pretty confident as well. But look, you've seen before in Leinster Championship as well, down the country teams could have pulled upsets as well, particularly this time of year, tough conditions, heavy pitches. But yeah, no, look, I think you'd be mad to not bet in Crokes here as well. Do like Éire Óg, a good side, particularly Jordan Marcy, probably my favourite there as well. He's a really, really good player. But like, yeah, no, look, I think you'd be mad to probably bet against Crokes here as well. I think Crokes will probably. They just want to get through these stages. These are the kind of potential banana skins, I suppose, for them at the moment. They want to get themselves up playing onto the better surfaces and the better pitches as well. They want to get to the Leinster final. They want to get into the All-Ireland series. That's when I think Crokes start to shine, is when they start playing on Croke Park, when they start playing the bigger pitches. So, yeah, look, I think they'll take any sort of win here too, but like I'd imagine like with Walsh and Mannion and Cunningham and the likes up front, Hugh Kenny, then they'll just have too much probably firepower, I think, for Éire Óg. So I'd be pretty confident with that one.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think nobody can stop them getting into the Final Four from Leinster. I think that the minute they squash Bowden, I thought, right, they're on to the pretty much the All Ireland semi-finals. And I don't mean to disrespect anyone. I just think Crokes are that good. But my thing is, can they get through these games without picking up an injury? Can they get through these games without Paul Mannion getting injured or Shane Walsh getting injured or Rory O'Carroll getting injured? Because you saw, like, Craig Diaz is a big loss there around the midfield. And look, I know that, but from being at the game, the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, Ballyboden were winning a few kickouts. And look, while, yeah, Crokes eventually got on top there and, turned the game around completely, like, I do think that they're there to be got at midfield without Craig Diaz. And I do mean that in a compliment of how good Craig is. But yeah, I do expect Kilmacud to win this game. And then moving on to Sunday's Leinster football quarterfinals, we'll start with this one. Blessington, the champions of Wicklow, after beating Rathnew in a replay against the champions of Louth, St. Mary's RD. This one relatively closer. I am going to lean towards St. Mary's RD on this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that yeah, look, I think the Louth Senior Championship has been really, really high quality actually the last while, and there's been some really good games up there as well. Louth football is going the right direction. RD have they put a bit of a run together now. They got their first year out of the way of kind of playing a bit of Leinster football as well. That they got the experience of it as well. I expect them to be a lot more. Yeah, I expect them a lot more ready for Leinster, I suppose now, and. Yeah, I don't think they'll be disappointed anyway with the draw. I know they have to travel down to Wicklow and stuff, to the away side and everything like that too. But I think they'll be relishing the opportunity to give it a better crack. Look, they're probably thinking as well, could have been worse. Could have got Crokes, could have got Nace as well. So I think it's a good chance for RD. And look, yeah, I would be leaning towards RD out of the two of these here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So we're in agreement on 2 out of 2. I feel like we may be in agreement on this one as well. Another Leinster football quarter-final. Kilo Young Emmets from Longford against St. Lomans from Westmeath. And I am leaning towards Lomans. I'm saying it out the gate. I think Lomans are going to win this one. On paper, Lomans have a cracking team. And like you look at it, like John Heslin, Ronan O'Toole, Sam McCartan, like at the club level in Westmeath, those are arguably three of the best players they could have got out of that Westmeath team. They're definitely three of, in my opinion, the top six that Westmeath have, along with like Kieran Martin, Ray Kennellan, and Luke Loughlin, you could say. But like, and Kevin Maguire, yeah, he's another one that I'd throw into that list. But this game against Kilo Young Emmets, I think Lomond should take it.
Yeah, look, and I think like the way you describe it, when you have three of the starting Westmeath for front six, like I think when you can put that in the club level, I think you're after a pretty good start. So like, yeah, look, Heslin's still very much the main man here as well. You saw the last day out as well, the tallies that he put up in the Westmeath final too as well. So like, look, I do think the first day out, very impressive. Round one in Leinster too, got the job done, fairly dispatched week one. So like, yeah, I think you're right. I think I would be like Kilo have come out along for the good few times. They have a good bit of Leinster experience, but no, I think Lomans are one of those kind of Leinster dark horses that probably aren't being talked about a huge amount, but like I think they in that kind of tier behind Kilmacud, I think they're pretty high up. So yeah, no, look, I think we're definitely in agreement on that one again. That like I think Lomans are going to come out on top of that one.
Well, that's it. When we see how well the Downs did, I think, in getting as far as they did in the Leinster Championship. Look, I know Crokes handled them when they did, but that's Kilmacud Crokes. They've handled everybody, especially in Leinster. But I think Lomans actually, I think, are better equipped to give Crokes a run for their money. I actually think it's between Naas and Lomans for giving Crokes the best challenge in Leinster. And I would be interested to see what it would be like for Kilmacud if they had to go away to Naas or if they had to go away to St. Lomans. How would they get on under those circumstances? But it would be interesting. I'll be keeping an eye on the Aero one as well. I don't mean any disrespect by me picking Crokes to win Leinster outright. I just think they are that good. They are pretty much untouchable. I picked them to win Dublin from the start, and they have. And I picked them to win Leinster from the start too. Now, moving on to the final of the four quarterfinals, Naas out of Kildare versus Summerhill out of Meath. And I think probably is this one the most tricky to call out of the four. And the one thing that you will be guaranteed is it's quite likely that Summerhill, that something will happen in this game, because Summerhill over the last couple of years, usually something really weird happens at their games. I mean, last year you have David Brady and Conor Gillespie having their little shadow boxing match on the sideline, and then this year you've already had the whole ridiculous scenes at the end. That was all Tullamore's fault, by the way, from Offaly, that guy pushing the referee at the end of the game. And not the entire club of Tullamore, but definitely that guy's fault. But will something happen in this one, or will it be a straightforward victory for either of these sides? And if so, who are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight out. I'm gonna say Naas. I think Naas are a bit ahead of Summerhill. Like, yeah, I know. Like, there was the game itself. Probably Summerhill Tullamore was probably overshadowed by the incident at the end. Wasn't a great game. The quality wasn't really great. Not much attacking talent on show, and I don't think Summerhill really impressed too much in that game. Like, they laboured up the line, didn't kick a huge amount of scores, very low scoring as well too. I just think Naas will have. I think Naas are the next best team in Leinster. I think it will be close. I think Summerhill are able to drag teams into a battle against them, but when it comes to quality, I definitely would have Naas like a little bit ahead of them. I think so, especially with the home advantage there as well and stuff. I'd be fairly stunned if Naas don't come out on top of this one.
Yeah, no, I'm going Naas as well. I think if you look at it as well, the way that Summerhill got the victory against Tullamore, they only took the lead for the first time in the 56th minute or something like that. So it wasn't the most impressive victory. And then the whole shenanigans at the end where they could have been knocked out, they have scraped into this game, whereas I don't think that would be enough to take Naas. And I think Naas will win this game. Now, we have other games left on the Sunday. I'm going to go from quickest to predict to then the most difficult to predict. I'm going to go all the way up to in what, in my opinion, is the most difficult one out of the bunch to call. So we're going to go in terms of easiest to call. The next one up that I think is easiest to call is the Kerry Senior Football County Final. Mid-Kerry against East Kerry. It's a repeat of last year's county final between Mid-Kerry and East Kerry, a game that East Kerry won easily. But interestingly enough now, this one relatively new that the news broke is that Cairns O'Rahilly's, who were the Kerry and Munster county champions or something like that last year, have been relegated from the Kerry Championship this time. And last year, Austin Stacks won the Kerry Championship and got relegated last year. Sorry, they won it 2 years ago and got relegated last year. So that's 2 years in a row now that the defending champions have been relegated and now will play in the divisional sides. So again, this structure just confuses the hell out of me. And we've ended up in a final now where we have Mid Kerry against East Kerry and Dingle, who are the best club team in Kerry and the most equipped to go on and represent Kerry in the provincial championships, just like how they were last year, have now been, their confidence has taken a battering by getting hammered by Mid Kerry the way they did in the semi-final against a selection of players, just like East Kerry. And I think it will be an easy East Kerry victory. The Clifford brothers there, that will pretty much win it by themselves in this game. But yeah, it's just, I don't really see the significance. And now the Cairns are coming out and saying that they're not happy with it. Could we potentially see this finally change, this confusing structure?
Yeah, no, look, I think so. Personally, I think it's pretty farcical. Like, I think it's absolutely, like, you look at the structure as well. The senior championship only has 8 sides in it as well, and then you look at intermediate. The reason why Kerry win intermediate and junior every single year is because they're putting up teams that are better than everyone else in the country. Like, it's really, like, number one, that's not the Kerry County Board's fault. Is that the GA should be saying, well, if the top 16 sides are entering into senior, and then your 17 side goes in as well, and that, like, it shouldn't be a thing. But anyway, moving on from that, like, I think the structure, like, I don't think you want to see 2 divisional sides place each other in the final. And I think the way this is going, with the way sides are, how dominant divisional sides are as well, I think we're going to see that pretty common from now on, that we could be seeing an East Kerry, Mid Kerry the whole time. So I don't think it's surprising that Cairns O'Reilly put it forward. I think some of their proposal makes an awful lot of sense as well. So look, I know we've talked about it before, and a lot of people, particularly in Kerry, seem to be very loyal to their divisional teams and the idea of their championship structure. But like, I don't really see the merit of it. I think, yeah, maybe it gives junior players an opportunity to play a little bit at a higher level as well and stuff. And I suppose with rural communities, there's that sort of argument to it too. But I think it's getting to the stage where, look, those teams should maybe just merge together and play with each other in junior, because, like, I don't really see the benefit. And like you're saying as well, it does seem a little bit farcical that Dingle are going to be going through, even though they were beaten, like, absolutely out the gate, that everyone saw them, watched them on TV, getting absolutely hammered, but yet they're going to be the Kerry side representing. So yeah, look, it kind of overshadows the final a little bit. I don't think there's going to be as much excitement, for instance, say if it was something like a Dingle versus like, say, a Cairns O'Reilly, or a Dingle versus Austin Stacks or something like that as well. It just can't be the same sense of community, and it just can't really be the same sort of investment into it too. And also the amount of games the players are playing as well, is that there's players, I know, particularly, I was reading the Cork players down in the hurling anyway as well. They're players that are playing for their own club on the Saturday night at a junior level, and then playing for McKillie or something like that on the Sunday. Like, I just think the day of divisional sides are starting to become really, really tested in the age of player welfare, I suppose, as well. So look, that's a bit of a rant on the divisional sides, but look, it just sets up a final that I don't think would have the same level of excitement for. I agree with you. I think East Kerry will win it. I think Mid Kerry, though, like, it's hard to know where the divisional sides are just so far ahead. They looked pretty awesome in that game against Dingle. They absolutely blitzed Dingle, Mid Kerry did. But, like, is that just because divisional sides are so much better than club sides? Or, yeah, it's hard to know. But based off what we've seen last year, based on the personnel, based on the inter-county talent, you'd be pretty brave to bet against East Kerry.
Yeah, no, East Kerry for me, fairly simple. And I completely agree with Cairns O'Reilly's statement that I think they should tweak it. Like, it's too many games, especially for the likes of David Clifford. Like, you wonder why he was knackered in the final last year. He looked like he was exhausted. You think he's gone from Foster to Kerry, from Foster to East Kerry, back to Foster, back to East Kerry, back to Kerry again. Like, he's knackered. And that game is just fatigued. And like, that's one of the reasons. And look, I think Mick Fitz also did an amazing job on him, but that's another debate for another day. But I definitely do think East Kerry will win this game. And me personally, like, I know I'm not from Kerry, don't watch really the Kerry County Championship because I don't understand really, apart from getting junior players exposure, what is the point? I don't understand why you put that extra strain on your players to play another club championship. It doesn't really make sense to me, because then you've got Rathmore then last year, for example, who were the 9th best team in Kerry, going up against what was something like the 16th or 17th best team in Cork. So, like, how is that fair on clubs from other counties? But it's another debate, and one which we currently don't have time for. We're both in a rush. Moving on. Then we got another final up in Limerick. It's a football final between Adair and Newcastle West. Me personally, Newcastle West being the dominant force that they've been, I'm going for them to take this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, again, hard to bet against them. That they just seem to have sewn up Limerick a little bit lately, and like, I feel like we're agreeing too much here, but like, I can't argue with that one either.
Yeah, no, I go with them. Ian Corbett and players like that, I feel like will lead them on their way. Then the Ulster Senior Football Championship preliminary round also happens on Sunday. Derry Donnelly Harps of Fermanagh against Kilcoo of Down. And 2 years ago when these sides met, Kilcoo absolutely hammered Derry Donnelly out the gate. I am going with Kilcoo to win again. They did look very impressive against Burren in the final, apart from throwing their toys out the pram the minute they heard the referee who was announced. But apart from that, they put up a good display in that final, and I do expect them to take out Derry Donnelly Harps.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, and they have a nice mix of style as well. They can play in any sort of way. That if you want to play football against them, they'll beat you playing football. And if they want to drag you in an arm wrestle, they know how to do that too. And yeah, I think it could be with, again, look, conditions are really poor at the moment. It probably will be an arm wrestle, but look, Kilcoo know how to win those games. Derry Donnelly are a good side. They are a good side. And yeah, I think that result 2 years ago was probably unreflective of them as a club. But yeah, no, I think they'll equip themselves better this time. But like, yeah, again, I think it's a pretty clear decision to go for Kilcoo in this one.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going for Kilcoo as well. We've got 2 left, and they're 2 difficult ones to call. Munster Senior Hurling Championship quarter-final first, Ballygunner of Waterford against Sarsfields of Cork. I mean, what a mouth-watering tie this is. Sarsfields, very, very impressive in the Cork final, beating Middleton, who I had tipped to win that game. Ballygunner, especially now that Ballyhale Shamrocks are gone, have become the odds-on favourites for the All-Ireland Club Championship. What are you making out of this tie?
Yeah, look, I might go out on a bit of a limb. I don't know if this is crazy to say, but I think Ballygunner are going to win this very comprehensively. I think they're gonna be 10+ winners in this game. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that the standard of Cork hurling, I think, just like at inter-county it's grand, but just at club level, I just don't think the physicality is in the club game at the moment. And yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people in Cork just weren't too impressed with the standard of the of the showing in the county, I suppose, this year. I think there was more interest in the football this year, but like, just between all that, I just think Ballygunner are going to have too much physicality for them. I think Ballygunner are a big, strong side, full of inter-county players, just really, really physically tough team. And I just think they're going to bully. I think they're going to bully Sarsfields. And yeah, I think, look, you've seen some results last year as well in last year in Munster too. Finbar's equipped themselves pretty well last year. They put up a pretty good fight. I know they lost to Ballyea by a point, but they kind of seem to do well because they have that physical size. They had a bit more bite about them as well. You look in previous years, Middleton have struggled. They've shipped some heavy enough beatings in there as well. I just think against Ballygunner, I think Ballygunner are the All-Ireland favourites right now, and I think they'll win by 10 at the weekend.
Jeez, talk about nailing your colours to the mast. I am going with Ballygunner. Not as much, though. I will go with Ballygunner, probably by about 4 points if I had to put my neck on the line there. Not 10. And I do mean a late pull away, where they pull away from them in the last 10 minutes or so. But yeah, and then on terms of All Ireland, like, the fact that Ballyhale Shamrocks are gone, Ballygunner would have immediately sat up and took notice of that. But so would every other county. So sorry, would every other county champions. They have all the confidence in the world, and especially teams like O'Loughlin Gales and the Fianna who might be thinking, oh, okay, now we can get out of Leinster here as well. And all of a sudden, a path to the final emerges. So very interesting, and I expect the rest of the club championship to be hectic because Ballyhale are out so early. And now, that last prediction of the video, and we have been very quick and efficient with this video, but we'll get this last prediction in. Galway Senior Football Championship final. COROFIN versus MOYCULLEN. And this, for me, is just a perfect storyline. You have MOYCULLEN, the defending champions, against COROFIN, who, in my opinion, the COROFIN side of the late 2010s has to be considered right up there as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, club side of all time. Can they recapture this magic this year?
Yeah, that's the thing. And like, to be honest, like I think this is as good a club game as you're gonna get. Like, I think just when you look at the standards in this game, I think it's just pretty freakish. And like, yeah, MOYCULLEN, I think MOYCULLEN will be desperately disappointed with how Connacht went last year. Because I think when they came out of Galway, I was looking at them and I was thinking All Ireland winners. Like, I thought they had that look off them as well. I think the amount of talent.
They smoked Westport as well.
Yeah,
first game.
And it was just, I think what it was against in, like, I think there was the ugly scenes with the referee at the end. I think I remember, like, that was a
No, that was Mount Bellew.
Oh no, sorry, yeah, no.
But MOYCULLEN smoked Westport, and then they squeaked past Strokestown, and I believe, who was it in the final? Was it the Sligo champions? I think it was Turlestrane.
It was Turlestrane.
Yeah, they snuck past both of them very unimpressively.
Yeah.
And then went out in the semi-finals.
Yeah. Well, look, I think from what I've seen anyway of MOYCULLEN, like, I do think they are a strong side. They're a strong club side. The Kellys, everybody that they have in relation to they're able to kick scores too. I do have this thing about COROFIN. It's been so long since we've seen COROFIN. You think about COROFIN, how dominant they were. A lot of the players are still there. That's the thing, is a lot of them are still there. They're a little bit, they are a good bit older now. Like, they are an older side now. Some younger players have come through too. Like, I do think, like, a lot of it was that they did a lot of dirty gas in the tank anyway, that they needed to get out. They were on the road so long. I'm gonna say, because they've been so impressive in Galway this year, I'm gonna go with COROFIN to come back anyway and win a first title in a couple of years.
Well, would you believe this is the first one we're going to disagree with, and it's on the last one? I'm going to go with MOYCULLEN. I think the torch has passed. I think the mantle has passed, and I think for MOYCULLEN, this will be a really symbolic moment to beat COROFIN in the final as defending champions, to really establish that they are the new kings in Galway. And I think they should not, cannot, and will not let this chance pass them by. So I'm going to go with MOYCULLEN to take it. But I think, in my opinion, this is my favourite game of the weekend. This is the one that I'm going to be keeping an eye out for and keeping up to date with it. No doubt about that. So, guys, that's the quick weekend preview here on Cluiche. Myself and Luke have places to be and things to do, but we fit this in, and we will be with you, no doubt about it, on Monday for the weekend review. So make sure that you keep in touch with us. Make sure that you see how right or how wrong we were, and do be sure to let us know about it as well, especially if Ballygunner do not beat SARSFIELDS by 10 points. But yeah, until the next one, guys, here on Cluiche, Torara.